Okay, so we have our slide, and the first thing we do is that we...
This is acid fast.
Yeah, this is acid fast. So the first thing we do is that we add our water onto our loop. You put that one loop full of water here, and make sure your loop is sterilized before you do this. And then you sterilize the loop. For acid fast technique, you're going to need one slide, you're going to need your staining tray, and you're going to need your dye, you're going to need your acid alcohol, and you're going to need your methylene blue. Your primary dye is Carbofusion. And also, before you do anything, make sure you set up your beaker, because it's going to come to a boil, and make sure you have mycobacterium. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to get a comma size of our bacteria. Check a little bit first, and then obtain a comma size, and inoculate it into the water. Once that's in the water, sterilize. Now what you do
Also, this one, the Kirby Boyer method,
is you add one strip of paper. Make sure you have one strip of towel paper, and you put that on top of your bacteria. Before you do that, make sure you heat fix your slide. So, one,
when it says to
two.
wash it with ethanol, question, when it says to wash it with ethanol, you just use this ethanol? Or
No.
use this ethanol, the 95% ethanol?
The 95%,
right?
That's yeah. This one. That's 70%.
Yeah.
Okay. Now once it's heat fixed, you go ahead and add your strip.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you take this whole thing to your beaker. Once that's there, let's say the beaker has come to a boil and it's steaming. What you do is that you add your primary dye.
What's the primary dye?
Your primary dye is your Carbofusion. So as it's steaming, you add your primary dye on top of it. And you always make sure it's soaked. You don't want it getting too dry. And you do this for about 5 minutes.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
Now let's say it's been 5 minutes, okay?
To determine the resistance or sensitivity of bacteria.
Then you take your forceps.
Don't mix the lens paper with the blotting paper.
And you go back and put it on top of your staining tray.
Or the that lens.
And you remove
And read the label.
remove your little towel piece, and then make sure you throw it into the biohazard.
Your media you have Miller Hinton. Remember that's what your brown.
Once that's in the biohazard, take your tray, tilt it, and then rinse with distilled water one time. Okay. Once that is rinsed with distilled water, you decolorize the slide with acid alcohol. Just for 30 seconds. Take it. Once it's decolorized, yeah. Okay, and then you counter stain with methylene blue. And you leave the methylene blue counter stain for 3 minutes. Then once after 3 minutes has passed, take your slide, tilt it, and then rinse the slide with distilled water again. Then you can view it under a microscope after you dry it with blotting paper.
This is the beginning of cooking. This is the thing which you're going to take with you.